Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication.
Hello, welcome to Mercy TV, your source for news and information on the cannabis issue, with a focus on the medical side. As that issue unfolds here in Oregon, across America, and around the world. Greetings, I'm Perry Normo, and with producer PK, we'll be hosting this segment of Mercy TV. Mercy TV is an action item of Mercy, the Medical Cannabis Resource Center. Find out more about us and our other action items at mercycenters.org. Thanks to today's segment, we want to dedicate to our patient resource coordinator, Sonny Watkins, and to all the good folks that have helped us out through the years, especially CCTV of Salem, Oregon. And I guess we want to start off with also greetings to folks in the hospital.
Please talk to your doctors about using cannabis. You don't have to smoke it to get the benefits of the plant.
Okay, well, we are 6 feet apart-ish here, so we'll make ourselves at least semi-intelligible here. You can hear what we're trying to say to you. Here at Mercy TV, our mission is to give out news and information on this issue as we learn about it and provide you with sources. Turn the music down.
Pardon
Okay.
for the viewers.
Right. And, things like cloning, getting good plants, where to get good plants. Because our program, our thing is about, is cannabis right for you? Is it the right medicine? If so, how to get your authorization, how to start consuming medical cannabis where you are, and then, finding medicine now and getting it in the long term, which means getting a grower, finding some source.
Or growing yourself.
Right.
It's very easy, my friends.
And then, of course, there's the harvesting, if you are growing or involved with the growing, the curing of your cannabis, the storing of it so that it doesn't, that it gets the most benefit from it. And then, of course, the different ways to prepare your cannabis for consumption, the different modalities available to it, and then the cycle repeats, as it were. So, here today, I don't know if there are plants in the shot here, but we have a clone that was provided to us by one of our network members. What do we know about this here plant, PK?
Nothing much other than it's supposedly high CBD or THC level.
Okay.
But you can see on this plant here, we got 2 starts, we got a couple more coming. We can clone this and make, one plant into, as many as you can.
Right.
Some people even take the top at this time. And that's another one that you would clone. And you would clip it off, and you would have a angle on the thing like a rose plant. When you're clipping a rose plant, you would scrape the outside bark off of the plant, dip it in water, you have to have root tone, and you would dip it in that, and you have that, and then you put it in a solo cup or whatever container, and it's filled with dirt or rock wool ball or some other method of that, and you give it plenty of water, lots of sunlight, or even light from a lamp. and you would get the same plant by cloning it.
Okay. So there is something about the number and size of the leaves that help identify if it's more indica versus sativa?
With this plant, I think it's a sativa because the leaves are thin.
Okay.
Indica would be a fat leaf. And I show you this in my garden. We have a couple of different varieties. And there's many different varieties of cannabis that we use in our medical. The CBDs and all the other different chemicals that might be higher or lower in the plant.
And can we tell at this stage if it's male or female?
I personally can, but if somebody's more educated, could tell. But as just looking how the leaves are separated, and sometimes they might be parallel to each other.
Okay.
And it's all how you treat the plant. You could put this in give it a 12-hour day. When the 12th hour comes, you put a darkened box over it so it doesn't get any light. And when it is sunset and that, you would take the box off of it. Some people would leave the box on, but the ventilation is cut. And you would force the plant to become a female or a male because of the light deprivation. But the male plant would show its little balls and the flower a lot sooner than a female plant would start developing its flower.
I thought traditional sexing of it was looking at the tops there, and something in the way that the leaves were developing and stems, or is that the splitting process that you were talking about?
I think that was the splitting process of making a clone.
So, where does one get clones? Now, here in Oregon, there are some nonprofit organizations that attempt to network folks in their membership. Somebody has some clones, some extra ones. Get them to somebody who has no plants at all, or has space for them.
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
But at these different outlets now that we have, and the medical helped out these outlets at the beginning because they didn't have no plants, and we helped them out, and now we got screwed, and we got the only benefit of not paying taxes on our purchases at these places. But we can get clones from these places if they're fortunate to have them.
Right, because you got to get especially if you're looking for a particular strain.
Yeah, and now that's the beauty of the phone, because we can call these places and not waste time by going there.
Gas and everything else.
But it's an experience to, hey, I look at this plant and you say it's a female. It does look like a female at this time, and we hope it doesn't morphodite or turn into a male plant.
Right.
And
which we'll know when it gets to that certain point and either produces balls or flowers, I guess, right?
Yeah. And the flower will come a lot later than than the balls because the male plant wants to get its pollen out.
Mm-hmm.
And some people would like, hey, that came from a train wreck, and that's what my seeds are from.
Mm-hmm.
But over the generation, I got hermaphrodites in the garden, and that's why I only saved the first generation of seeds.
Okay.
And we showed you an episode back where we used a jar with emery cloth and we scuffed up the seeds,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a 90% be a chance of it being a female
Okay.
if it was going to be a male or a hermaphrodite.
Nice.
And we have one plant of that.
Okay. And this was networked. Somebody had an extra. Did you make a donation to them for
I
it?
made donations to the neighbor who had a friend that had extra plants.
Okay. So, what about mites or things of that nature? Fungus, anything that can jump to other plants?
Well, I use a lemon juice, water, and a drop of Blue Dawn soap. And I spray the plant with that where it's dripping the water from the leaf. And I got the stem also. And that's been my success of keeping bugs away from it or when powdery mildew. But no, you have to look at the plant on occasion and see what it's doing. And it may just need water.
All right. So this solution that you have, it works both for bugs and molds?
Yes.
Nice. And what was it again?
Lemon juice, which is, I'll show you in a second.
And when applying it, as PK was saying, you want to get it relatively soaked so that it's dripping from the leaves and running down the stems and so forth.
And you want to use the little bit, just a drop of the soap to have the solution adhere to the leaf.
So the soap is a dishwashing soap, or
Yeah.
Okay, your basic soap. Okay.
Um,
And then the lemon
a lemon juice, and this is a gallon container.
with this whole mixture.
Yeah, and I pump it up and I spray the plants.
So a gallon of water. How much lemon?
Well, must be about 32.
All of that goes in.
Every drop.
Okay.
And,
So a lot of lemon, and how much water then?
and then you fill up the container to the level
Okay.
of it. So
And then a drop of soap, dishwater soap.
yeah, and you shake it to get the soap mixed in there thoroughly,
Mm-hmm.
and you start spraying it. You gotta be careful. You can't keep it sitting over the season, over the winter time,
Okay.
and that you use fresh stuff.
Uh-huh.
And you could even use the solution on your cured cannabis. When you're breaking open the flower and you see a little mist, white, and that you got a mold in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you spray it again
Yep.
to knock that mold off. And that's my method of taking care of molds and bugs.
And so when you do you inspect it when you receive it or pick up the plant, or do you quarantine it until you've had a chance to examine it and
Well,
such?
I quarantined the plant a couple days before I put it into the garden, and and ex- expect the roots, because at this time, yeah, you see how my hand is around the stem,
Okay.
and now we're looking at the roots here, and we'll rough this up a little bit and put it into the place that we dug a hole.
All right.
We put a gallon of water in that hole and let it set, and it'll disperse the water through the soil. And then you planted the plant, and then you give it another cupful of water. So, and you would look at it, and hopefully tomorrow it wouldn't be wilted, because it has enough water and it's getting a lot of sunlight,
Okay.
and it's a happy camper.
Okay, yeah, note that PK has an outdoor garden and is growing in the dirt soil, as opposed to some folks who have potted plants of some sort. They've got these big containers these days, so they're growing in rather huge pots. And again, the what you're growing it in can vary from the clay balls to soil mixture to, yeah, the regular dirt. And the purpose of having these pots to grow it in, even though it is outdoors and be just as simple and sometimes into the soil. But I've seen a case where this one chap had like gophers. And so having those plants out in a pot was beneficial. But that's
they would have a steel cage around the pot so the gopher can't chew into the plastic and get into the roots of the plant. And they're one happy gopher once they get to those roots.
Which is bad for the thing, because in general, folks can use the roots for making medicine.
Yes, and I believe with the roots you can make the CBD chemical.
Right. Yeah, well, if folks can check out our archives and see some of our previous shows where we have Reed Smith, who makes a balm out of cannabis roots, and it is purported to contain a good sampling of cannabinoids and cannabinoids for it. I don't know that we've got it tested per se, but it's been very widely praised by the folks that have been able to use it. So we like to get the word out that you can do that with the roots. It's a very simple process, and folks can learn more about it by visiting the Mercy Center TV channel on YouTube. What else?
Well, I just took a sip of the healing oil that's been blessed by my pastor and a couple pastors that has been through my church. But it's olive oil. You can use whatever oil that's handy.
Cannabis infused olive oil, I guess we
Yes.
should say.
And it only takes 28 days to have it fully integrated into the oil.
Right, and you're not heating it. There's no fumes or anything. So in the making of this oil, there's no risk of explosion or injury.
Combustible.
There. Excuse me. So, what else can we say about the PK cannabis oil process?
Well, I use it for my carpal tunnel and other pains that I have in my life. I've used it on bug bites, spiders and mosquitoes. I use it in my hair. I use it all over my body. I believe olive oil is an old method of making your skin healthy.
Yeah. So, the oil, PK's healing oil, represents two of the modalities in consuming cannabis. Taking it orally and then applying it topically. And in that, it covers most of the different symptoms and conditions that cannabis treats. You're getting a whole body experience, and he's using a whole plant in his process for making his oil. So then you take that internally, and it's going to help all those things, your any gastro situations, your IBS, your reflexus, your all kinds of
Your skin.
internal things, but as well as getting to your blood system, helping with your blood pressure, actually does. Your joints, your muscles, your aches, your pains, your seizures, your neuropathic things, your multiple sclerosis, your myasthenia gravis, as well as pains and pressures. You know, your glaucoma, for your eye pressure therein, your nausea, I believe we already talked about, cachexia, loss of appetite, and then when applied topically, covers your skin conditions, your injuries, and even pressure points like migraines. When medicine's applied here, folks have experienced some wondrous, miraculous results with it. So we really do a lot to push out, educate folks on PK's healing oil, how to make it, how to get good medicine for it, of course, and how to change the laws so people aren't required to pay hundreds of dollars to get permission from their stat to use the only thing that works for them. I mean, there's enough expense with it as it is, and they don't need this anymore. Of course, we here in Oregon are fortunate that it's just a matter of money to get your medical cannabis. In some states, they don't have the law yet, and our thoughts and prayers are with them and hoping that they can achieve that someday. Well, let's see. We've got 22 minutes, so about 6 minutes left in our show. Anything else we want to cover here in this episode?
Please make sure that your registration for voting is current. And when it's that time, I hope you talk to your neighbors and your friends about what issues that are being asked for your vote.
Yeah, voting is going to be a big deal for us, but as well as in general. I think you'll find that people are opposed to letting people vote and having rights in general, are also opposed to allowing you to have cannabis. They want to keep the drug war going on. They want the waste and expense and the harm to vast segments of society. But that costs us all, the rest of us. And so we should get up, stand up, get informed, and get active. And an end thing of that will be for all of us to register, vote, and get everyone we know to do so also. And then get everyone we don't know yet. And we'll find that this is not just going to help us and our issue, but our country in general, and indeed the world. So I can't emphasize enough that we want to go TV, not just register folks, help them get registered, but also get to the polls. and in general,
Be responsible and have a quality of life.
Right. Well, talk it up. Your friends, your family, your coworkers. Like we said, everybody you know, and then everybody you don't know yet. A lot of get out there on the street, register voters. There's a lot of occasions where just stand on the with a street corner with a sign saying, "Hey, the pot war is still going on. Let's end it. Save money, save people, save time, and make this a better place."
So on the first weekend of May, we have a march. It's worldwide. It's the Million City Marijuana March.
Right.
You see the sign on the side. Say no to medical cannabis discrimination. Please. Help us.
They say that the first casualty of war is the truth, and that's certainly the case with the marijuana wars and this coming civil war that a lot of people are seeing. And so don't just vote for that, but for yourselves, for your kids and your grandkids. Register, vote, everybody you know. Help people get to the polls. Poll watch, poll support. Just making sure that people aren't threatened and intimidated. Help them to fill out the forms. And just general, just get out. Just go and register and vote. Thank you.
And that means even taking the friend's ballot to the ballot box and putting it in there.
Say that they're getting out there and just wherever people are and setting up a little booth and getting the voter registration and then making sure that gets turned in. But give them a bunch of ballots and have them get other people. They have more outreach to their network than you do. So, get them to take things and then get them to get other people to get, ballots. And go online, use those services and means to do it too. And not just register once, but keep checking on it, because there's going to be a lot of voter suppression in that people will be kicked off voter rolls and not informed, and they'll be done so in a kind of demographic manner so that it's not done on a basis of people fraudulently doing things or not. And we got to counter that by getting out the vote, by getting informed, educated people to make sure they're registered and to make sure everybody, their friends and family are registered, helping them to check out and to work the online tools to make it happen. Well, we're going to be wrapping up, so I just wanted to say thanks to Sonny, to Mike, to Shauna, to all the folks who have helped us, to CCTV of Salem. Visit our website for more information on them and how you too can take advantage of CCTV in Salem to get your message out. They are truly a voice for we the people, and we thank them very much.
Thank you, my friends. Take care. Remember, be safe when you have to. Wear a mask. If you're vaccinated, still wear a mask when you're in a crowded situation.
Right.
We know about
everything. Yeah, you can still carry it even though vaccinated and so forth. So, righto. Thanks, and we'll see you next time on Mercy TV.
Thank you. You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.